such an one call himself a citizen of the world? Why not a son of God? Why should he fear aught that comes to pass among men? Shall kinship with Caesar or any other of the great at Rome be enough to hedge men around with safety and consideration? I have a thought of apprehension, while to have God for our Maker, and Father the kinsman, shall not this set us free from sorrows and fears? I do not think that an old fellow like me need have been sitting here to try and prevent your entertaining object notions of yourselves, and talking of yourselves in an abject and ignoble way, but to prevent there being by chance among you any such young men as, after recognizing the
in the banking system, security, etc. And let's not talk about Syria either here. Iran involvement was very direct. They supported militias, Shia militias, alongside Hezbollah to kill many things. And if you can go now in the internet and check it out. I'm hearing my voice. Yeah, it up.
So you're doing very well. You're doing very well. You're doing well. Keep going.
Yeah, I was saying that when I care about human rights, let's talk about what Iran committed in terms of like human rights atrocities in Syria. Let's take it from 2011. You can just write it down. Just look it up. From 2011 till 2022. Look at the building casualties. Compare it to the Palestinians specific casualties from 1948 till now. The number is huge. More than 500 seniors to 900 civilians were killed by the direct involvement by RDC alongside Hezbollah and Bashar al-Assad.
You mean 500,000? You mean 500,000?
500,000, yes. We're not talking about Iraq since 2003 and 2014 and how they were they organized and command even parliaments under the umbrella of something called the popular mobilization forces. So if you're gonna apply the same standards, okay, let's do that. If Iran is actually now saying, oh, they're not interested in my country, why did not Iran ask this question in the first place when they had the balls to go and interfere in other countries like Lebanon and Syria and Iraq? Look at Lebanon right now. See what kind of conversation right now, what Iran have done to the Lebanese people and the Lebanese government. The Shia and Sunni and Christians, look at them. Let's apply the same standards. So that's what I want to say actually. And my question for some,
They burned the president of Lebanon, too.
yeah, they made a fake treaty. And a lot of things.
But you failed to say this was created out of the necessity of resistance to the Israeli occupation. So it's
How is that your business? How is that your business?
Hezbollah did not come to be birthed out of bombs. They actually came out of the fact that they made thousands of them, and that's where literally close to the north of occupied Palestine. They actually came and literally occupied the south of Lebanon. So the people
Right, and we'll give them the right to do that.
yeah, and by the way,
It might be that it'll let them
the
go
bottom
on.
line,
The Lebanese people want them there. That's what gave them the right.
No, they want them out. They want them out.
That's not true. No, you don't know what you're talking about.
You don't know what you're talking about, my family, so shut up.
So what your family from there? What that got to do with the country?
They didn't want them there.
and tell them, you don't understand that they actually created a massacre which is known internationally.
Yeah, but tell them what preceded that massacre, though.
Lebanon ended up massacre. Yes, I do agree. Israel deliberately let them commit a massacre. With that being said, it's regarding the Lebanese that militia that did it, that was a retaliation. It actually, to be fair, it was a series of attacks. So it wasn't just out of nowhere.
Yeah, but they're killing children. They're killing on the way.
So are they.
Children, you see that Iranian, they have a legitimate right, or they have rights to defend themselves. Why didn't they apply that to themselves? I don't care about the Shia, the Hezbollah, the Islamic Republic. I'm talking about from the perspective of, like, you know, you don't want anyone to interfere with your internal issues. But at the same time, you are actually and actively have been interfering in other people's businesses. Let me just left back. Then even now, during the negotiations between the Lebanese government that is led by Joseph Aoun, for the first time, they're having the balls and go and negotiate for their countries. Hezbollah themselves, their leaders, they're trying to see what Iran would tell them to do.
Yeah, true.
That's the level.
I mean, by the
That's
way-
the level of the division in a sovereign nation to Lebanon.
Well, understand, but-
It used to be the Switzerland of the Middle East. I like Lebanese people. I don't think they deserve that. But they're dragged into it by the name of the resistance on behalf of the feelings of specific groups. I would say namely Shia, Sunni, and the same specific regimes, namely the left.
I understand.
So they're not expressing the feelings of all the majority.
Well, I understand, but look,
people that
Lebanon
live there.
is
Like
not-
specific groups they see.
Okay, this
they
is
have to
specific
reason.
group.
But other groups they don't have to reason because they don't see the same
I
thing.
understand, but this
they're
is
not
specifically
West and North African.
But there are 50% of the Lebanese are also this specific group. I understand you don't like them, but they're not Lebanese. They're born in Lebanon, they speak Arabic, they're Lebanese national.
They're not loyal to Lebanon. They're not loyal to Lebanon.
I understand, but they're still Lebanese. Understand?
That's the
they're still
problem.
Lebanese.
The problem is they're Lebanese.
You might
They're Lebanese.
listen.
If I were a Christian from Lebanon, I would say you are my brother. You're Lebanese like me. I don't care if you're Shia or Sunni. But the thing is, your body is here, but your mind is operating elsewhere. So they are Lebanese. I didn't say the problem is that they're all Lebanese. That's the problem. My Lebanese fellow, my Lebanese brother.
Son, why is she taking you down
He's
the fucking track?
operating.
It's none of your business.
What's that?
This tithe agreement, that kind of.
Shut the fuck up. It's none of your business. What are you talking about?
The tithe agreement, it was very clear that the power was shared among the Christians, Muslims, Shia, Sunni, the
Is
rulers.
it really shared? Is it
Well,
really
that was the
shared?
tithe agreement. Whether it's
The tithe agreement that was a word. But in
reality,
controlling. Who's controlling Lebanon?
who's controlling
Who's taking Lebanon as a hostage for more than 20? Look, you understand. You have to state facts, logic, and reason.
But the
There's
president-
data. There's the reality in front of you. But the reality is they're not allowed to govern their own country. It's the first time.
The president is Christian. What are you talking about?
Yes, it's Christian, and finally, after 20 years, 20 years, Hezbollah and Iran, Iran's money and Iranian power and influence over Lebanese government. Finally, now, for the first time in history, everyone is happy. Everyone is supporting the government. You know why? Because they have the sense of like, finally, we're getting back our country. Please go ahead. And now what Shia are doing, the Hezbollah are doing, they're waiting for Iran's permission. That's the problem.
Next election, vote for people who are not Christian. Very easy. This is democracy.
By the way, I'm not.
You can vote for Christians.
By the way, I'm not Lebanese.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm not Lebanese. I can understand the context. I can understand the complexity of that region. It's not that simple. You can go to the university in the West and just throw lies, say your bullshit stuff like, you know, like down imperialism, or most of our problems are caused by Israel and okay, I get that, but it's not that simple. It's not that simple. And specifically for Iran and Saudi Arabia, it's another story. But we're talking about Iran right now. Since you actually oppose American intervention in your country, which I understand, but at the same time, there's a domino effect. There's like a chain of causation. We don't have to ignore that. There's a chain of causation. You cannot break it. It's not that simple. You only start, oh my God, look at us. Look at what you as an Israel are doing. What are you doing? Look at like 20 years. And it's deep. And people actually stand up from that. That's why anything that Israel has the right to do, what they're doing, I oppose that. I don't want any war in the region. But at the same time, I don't know. That's not what I'm saying.
She's saying very clearly that she wants Iran out of Lebanon. And the president of Lebanon is saying they want Iran out of Lebanon. So you're being hypocritical. You're saying, oh, you shouldn't interfere in Iran's affairs. Meanwhile, Iran is in Syria, Gaza, Iraq. You have no right to be there. And this is going to end. You have no right to have these proxies. And we're going to stop it. That's simple.
And you want to respect hatred, right?
Oh my God.
Yep.
Okay, got it. I mean, the country is full of oil.
100%.
That was the argument that he was using.
100%.
Why Iran should have nuclear.
It's inevitable because you're not trustworthy.
And all of a sudden, Saudi
Right.
Arabia.
Sorry.
That's correct.
That was not the argument with Iran. The United States said we'll sell enriched uranium to Iran, but we're only going to do it at a certain level. And Iran said, nah, we're all set. Iran basically said the quiet part out loud, which is they don't really give a shit about a nuclear program for the sake of nuclear power. We want enriched uranium. We're not going to stop enriching uranium until it reaches a certain level. You can spin that however you want to spin that, but it's very, very obvious what Iran wants. On one hand, I'm an American citizen. I want what's best for America, and sometimes that coincides with the rest of the world, but I will fully admit my own bias. Will you admit your bias as well? Like, what
I'm
would
going
you
to
say?
respond to you about your question.
What
Actually,
you guys
what
call
the
it
fuck?
collateral damage,
No
what
answer?
we call it.
Do you have a different question?
Who would you say you're biased on behalf of?
I mean, you would call it literally a collateral damage.
I'm biased on behalf of the United States. As an American who votes and pays taxes in America, I'm
Yes.
biased on behalf of America. Who would you say you're biased on behalf of?
From the Earth planet, I don't have any nationalism that you guys probably have. I care about.
He won't even admit that he's Iranian, Ben.
No,
He won't even admit that he's Iranian.
Are you Iranian? sir? Are you Iranian?
I care about the.
No, I'm asking you. I'm asking you. Are you
It
Iranian?
doesn't matter what my ethnic background. That's not.
No, I'm genuinely curious. Are you Iranian?
I hold my opinion not based on my place of birth. If that's the short.
He's not there.
Okay, so what?
He's not on it.
I hold my opinion based on what I see rather than my place of my birth. I don't
Okay.
think
So I'm just curious.
just because I'm from a certain country, I should be okay.
No, I
Who
think
speaks
you're
to
just
God?
like just a nuisance.
So,
died in protest, collateral damage.
I'm genuinely curious. Sorry, I'm genuinely curious. Do you think that on this app in this room? Do you think that you're swaying people towards your positions or away from your positions? Do you think this is going well for you, or do you think this is going badly for
I
you?
think there are many bars in the ocean where there are few people that they listen to me and they listen to your side, but they can also have their own critical thing. I don't want them to.
Oh,
do
sure.
what I'm saying.
No, I
want
fully
them to
agree
use
that
the
there's
critical
lots of people that can have critical thinking, 100%. But do you think you're doing a good job of portraying your side? You're not admitting your own biases. You're saying you're biased, but you won't say what you're biased on.
I'm biased when it comes to what you guys call collateral damage. I expose that, be it from any side. I have issues.
Sure,
with-
but when I pressed you earlier on something that, again, Ali Khamenei admits the fact that he committed human rights violations.
No, that's not.
But you won't.
I actually fact-checked that myself. Literally, what he said was that that matter needs to be investigated, and that needs to be whoever committed any atrocities.
That was according to him.
Well, according to the media, the journal that I just read, it says there should be accountability.
Which journal was that?
Well, look it up for you if you want. And I can
Yeah, please post it. Could you please post it in the chat? Because I don't believe.
I don't obviously have it right now, but I can look it up for you. Like, that's
You
what
just
it
said you said well while we were talking you looked it up. So I mean I would assume you have.
I mean, you
pretty
want
close
to
access
go,
to it.
you want me to turn my you want this, you want that.
Yes. What I'm saying is
Look for
sorry.
something for you, and then leave it in the chat for the next 5 minutes. You guys go like completely different thoughts. Okay.
No. I want it because I don't believe you.
Fair enough.
I do not believe you.
I think I'm sorry that I'm jumping in. I think Mr. Soren is some element of the Iranian government. You know, whatever he's saying, it is just the words are coming from Iranian media. He's saying the number of the people that killed in Iranian people in the street in 2 nights, 3,100, but it is absolutely wrong. It is more than 35,000. And he hasn't seen the bodies was delivering with the 40-foot containers, I think, in the cemeteries in all cities. And also, Mr. Soren is saying that, America can negotiate with the Iranian government people. It is absolutely wrong. These people are the most biggest trick. They are, they are stealing Iranian money, Iranian budget. More than half of the Iranian budget goes to the Arab people, like, Hezbollah, Hashd-e-Shabi, or, Tutsi, or, Syria. Thanks that Syria was, just released from Yashar, and one guy came there and is controlling very, very well.
What's his name, Mohsen? What's the name of the guy?
Mohsen, you're an Iranian
What
person,
is the
Mohsen?
name of the guy, Mohsen?
I'm Iranian citizen. Please, let me talk.
You're an Iranian citizen, Mohsen?
Yes, I am.
Let him land.
Well, we want to hear from you. We want to hear from you.
Let him land.
Well, Mr. Soren doesn't allow me. He's keep talking. Mr. Soren, your information about Iran it is completely wrong. America can negotiate with the killers, with the bastards, with the people stealing the Iranian budget, and sending to the Arab countries, having Hashd-e-Shabi or the Hezbollah. Hezbollah was controlling whole Lebanon. Lebanon was, really suffered from Hezbollah. Hezbollah was, created by the Iranian people, and Hassan Nasrallah, which I'm very glad that he's been killed. He has, told in his speeches that As long as Iran has money, we are okay. We are getting the food, dress, the weapon, everything from Iran. So, the thanks, the population in Iran, more than 70% are living under the, they have under, their income is under the regular income that must be. Today, right now,
Under the poverty level, we said. Under the poverty level.
Yes, the poverty line, absolutely. Anyway, Iran, Mr. Trump shouldn't, negotiate with, Ghalibaf or whatever. Ghalibaf is the same son of a bitch that, almost 20 years ago or some years ago, he was the chief of the police in Iran. He went to the university and put handcuffs to the students' hands, and he just pushed them from the roof to the ground in 3 levels, 3-story buildings, and they died. Anyway, unfortunately, the information Mr. Soren says, the people are.
Look, listen, you said the United States.
Let me finish, please. Mr. Soren is saying that they are hanging the people, executing the people are because of the drug. Absolutely not. There is no drug, traffic in Iran, and if it is by the big brothers, not the ordinary people. Yes, if they find a drug and somebody's, carrying it, they will put them very badly. But these people, they were killed, these days, are the people they were catched that, in October, 2 nights in the demonstration, the peaceful demonstrations, they put it in the jail, and now they are keep hanging them and executing them. Anyway, everything is, terrible in Iran. We don't have enough electricity, we don't have enough water, we don't have, the prices are keep going on every day, every single day. What are you talking about? Mr. Trump should, not negotiate with these people.
Okay,
These people, they've been negotiating. Please,
Let him land. Let him land.
Go ahead, man. Go ahead, man.
You see, they've been negotiating the nuclear, the uranium and whatever, garbage that they are making for 20 years. They're just, buying time. They just, making fun of the people, and they do what they were doing it. And now we find out that they have 400 some kilogram of 60% enriched uraniums, and now they are they build the missiles. With the missiles they are hitting all the countries around the Gulf. And imagine if they had the atomic bomb, what they were going to do. They were going to just kill whole the region and make it really mess up it. Anyway, I hope Mr. Trump doesn't trust them anymore, because these people, and right now we don't know if really Khamenei's son is alive, because nobody has seen it, nobody has heard from him, nobody has seen his picture. Even the foreign minister of Iran, a couple of days ago, he had an interview. He said, I haven't seen him yet. Anyway, this is a very big mess, and people are suffering in Iran right now.
So, listen, I've got a follow-up question for you. You said the United
Go.
States is not supposed to negotiate with Iran because of the fact that Iran is governed code by code, killing some people. But I've got a backup question to you. The leader of Syria, Jolani, a designated terrorist, there was $10 million bounty for killing Americans. He was the former Al-Qaeda leader. They gave him a suit. Now President Trump actually shaking hands with
Al-Qaeda, but I understand what you're trying to say. Mr. Soren, I know what you're saying. Al-Qaeda was killing the enemies.
Yeah,
Iranian government killing his own citizens. This is the big difference. It's the big difference. Iranian, government is killing his own citizens. They went out to the streets.
Come on.
Listen.
We can have
Exactly is what the truth. the truth is, Iranian people, they
You
went
do
out for
negotiate with
demonstration.
people. You
Iranian people
Guys.
went out for demonstration. You keep talking. You keep talking.
Listen,
Don't talk.
I just
Please
exposed
listen.
your lie.
Iranian people, they went out at the night for 2
Mo-
nights for
Moshe.
I'm talking
demonstrations.
about the
Peaceful
Moshe.
demonstrations. They killed
Hard to
almost
listen to it.
40
I
some
understand
thousand.
those things.
They went to the hospitals.
I understand.
They asked the
I see
doctors.
Okay. One at a time, and you guys are both gonna just go to the audience. It's really annoying.
Right. All I'm saying, Mohsen, I understand you don't like this Iranian government. I give you that. What I'm saying is that United States.
international terrorism.
I understand that. But Al Qaeda leader, former Al Qaeda leader, was $10 million bounty on Sanchez called Jolani. He became the president of Syria. Still, $10 million was on his bounty last magic, but now they removed it. They gave him a nice suit. They trim his beard.
Why are you changing the subject from Syria?
No, what I'm
Never
saying
committed.
is that you could not negotiate with Iran.
mic on Soren.
Because he was saying you cannot negotiate with Iran because of the human rights violation. And I was trying to remind him that that's not how geopolitics works. That's not how U.S. works. U.S. literally shook hands.
You don't
The
say
person
how
that put
U.S.
$10 million
works.
bounty on his head
Who are the
in White
how
House,
you say?
in Washington. What
Who
are
the
you
fuck
talking
are
about?
you? Who the fuck are you to say how U.S. works? Motherfucker, we will fuck Mullah. All of them Mullah. We will never leave one of them behind.
So, just really quick, Soren, I posted in the chat a link to the article where Ali Khamenei, let's just say for the sake of argument, I don't believe you, but let's just say for the sake of argument, it was only 3,100 people. 3,090 is one of the, this is what I have here. Again, I posted a link in the chat from a BBC article from January 17th of 2026, where Ali Khamenei literally said thousands have been killed, some in inhumane and savage manner. So he himself has again admitted human rights atrocities. I'm still waiting for your link. Maybe you've posted it. I haven't seen it yet, but I'm still waiting for your link because you did say that you were going to provide me with one. So I guess I'll continue to wait for that. I don't think you have one. I think you're full of shit personally, but that's fine. I think everybody that's listening knows that you're full of shit, to be totally honest. Again,
Do you have anything apart from my comment? Do you have something constructive? This is just.
I have a link from BBC where Ali Khamenei admits committing human rights atrocities, and yet for some reason you still will not condemn the Iranian government.
Well,
You condemn every other government on the face of the planet except for the Iranian
Well, to
government.
be fair, he did bring up Jolani, and Jolani is a lifelong terrorist. And as soon as he took power, they were killing the Druze, they were killing the Christians, the Alawites. I mean,
I don't have
he's every bit as bad.
I understand that, Pepe. I have no issue with the fact that Soren will condemn America. I understand he doesn't like America or doesn't like the Trump administration. That's fine. I understand that he doesn't like the Israeli government. That's fine as well. I understand that he doesn't like the Saudi Arabian government. That's fine as well. But for some reason, he has absolutely no problem condemning every single one of these governments, except for the Iranian government, except for the fact that the Iranian government literally admits to committing human. I don't know why you're talking, Peter. The Iranian government admits to committing human rights atrocities, and yet you still will not condemn them. Please.
Ben, I'm just reading the BBC article you said. I mean, he literally said that 3,090 people have been killed. He admitted to that. 3,090 people, not 30,000. So I don't know where you're going with this article. Yes, he did admit, and I also say it's the correct number,
3,000. So this is
Yeah,
say for the sake of argument, it's 3,090, which I personally don't believe. But let's just say for the sake of argument, it's 3,090.
Yeah.
Do you condemn the Iranian government for committing those atrocities?
Well, there is a context into that 3,090 people, because if I want to go ahead with the public narrative,
without mentioning other countries,
I would definitely condemn the innocent people that were killed on those 2 days.
You're condemning the people that were killed.
The people,
not the government that killed
no,
them.
I condemn the people that committed that crime. But the fact is,
Which people?
I can tell you which people. I can definitely condemn those people who agitate violence, instigate violence, those
You are
people
in
who
no place.
literally
No, no,
tweet
no,
at
no,
violence.
no, no, but that's not what you're saying. I don't care.
Let him decide.
You're running away from answering
I'm going to condemn the people that on the 2nd of January.
That was
this year,
it was
that
government
tweeted
who
on
was
their-
supposed to support
I'm going
the
to-
safety of
Please,
I'm going
I'll
to
raise it.
condemn those
Can I
individuals.
please?
If, like I can tell you, the
He
former
don't want you to.
the former CIA director, the former Secretary of State, Mike Pompeo, 2 days
Again.
prior to this protest, literally tweeted, he says, I'm going to extend my congratulations to all Iranian protesters alongside our Muslims.
I'll say
I'm
it to
definitely
you,
going to
because
condemn
your
whoever
mother is going
instigated
to
the
be-
violence.
Again, whether or not it was instigated or not, you're still not condemning. You're still not condemning the
100%.
actual people who committed the
You're
actual.
going to be on fire.
Again, I understand what you think of the United States. Everybody in this room, everybody in the audience understands what you think of the United States, and that's
It's not
fine.
what
You have a
I
right
think,
to.
that's what
You have a
I
right. You have a right to think what you think, and you have a right to believe what
It's
you
not my
believe.
opinion,
But
it's a
you,
fact.
but again, Soren, and all those who are listening, Soren, you refuse to condemn the actual action of killing some inhumane and savage manner. That is a direct quote from Ayatollah Ali Khamenei.
Yeah, I mean,
You refuse to condemn the Iranian government for those atrocities.
If I know for a fact that prior to this incident that there was the Mossad literally was active.
Again, you keep bringing up other
No,
governments.
but
That's
it's
not
not
what I'm
me saying
asking
that.
about. I'm asking you, do you condemn the Iranian government for committing those atrocities that they themselves
And what would be the
admit
role of
they
Mossad in that violence? I want to keep everyone.
Or if you would just condemn it, you would win the argument over Norm forever. Why can't you just say yes? I condemn it.
Ben, but sure. Ben, Norm.
What was the
No, I'm talking about Norm.
Oh, Norm. Okay, fair enough.
What was the
But
role
again,
of
Soren,
Mossad?
you giving you
Just say yes. Just condemn
Oh my
it.
gosh, dude, I'm giving you every single out that you could possibly have.
Look it up. I'll put it in the chat
So
for
wrong.
you, Ben. I'll put it in the chat.
Again, I have my own opinions of Mossad and Israel.
It's not your opinion. It's what Mark Pompeo said.
But again,
That's interesting since Pompeo spends a lot of time in Israel and he is very close with the Israeli government. But Pompeo travels with security for the rest of his life because the Iranians have tried to assassinate him, and on numerous occasions they've uncovered plots against Mike Pompeo.
That's irrelevant.
So
That's irrelevant.
yeah, no, it's not irrelevant. You brought up his name.
Again, Mike Pompeo.
You brought up Mike Pompeo.
But that's irrelevant to the point that I'm
No,
making. He said,
let's stop about Mike Pompeo, but he has security. If you ever see him now, he always has security
Understand.
because of the Iranian plots
I know,
against
and he
him.
said that
Isn't that interesting, Soren?
The
The
same
poor man
person-
for the rest of his life has to have security
I understand. The same
because of Iran.
Because of Iran, the same person he said
And yet
was
he
the
still
army
won't
side.
condemn
He won't
it.
condemn it. He won't condemn
I'm
it.
literally giving him every opportunity.
From
Just be like,
answering the question.
look,
As far
do
as-
I
Why
have
is
to-
there?
I
I think Mr. Soren is
Soren,
now he's making
Soren,
some
this
money to.
Hey, Soren, this is really easy. This is really easy. Do I condemn you?
I think you're
Mr. Soren, how
gaslighting.
much you make a month?
No. So, hey, Soren, let me do this. Soren, let me do this really quick. It's really easy for me to condemn the evil things that the United States has done. It's really easy for me to say, hey, the United States at one point, slavery was legal in the United States. The American government has done really horrible things. It's really easy for me to say, hey, guess what? I condemn the American government when they do bad things.
Can you condemn Israel for genocide in Gaza?
But the problem is that why does he have to agree to accede to that? To me, it's kind of like it's not a good faith way of debating someone.
No, I'm not doing it for him. I know he's not going to do it because I know where his loyalties lie, and that's fine. I'm doing it for everybody else in the audience that can see.
My loyalty is to truth. Nothing but truth.
Your loyalty is obviously not the truth. Otherwise, you can condemn and say, "Hey, yeah,
Shut what truth,
they should be condemned for it."
I mean,
But
I
it's not the
literally
truth.
come up with the Mark Pompeo. I can also come up with other evidence that this particular protest was obviously engineered by foreign forces, but you don't want to address that because it's not going to fit your. Or not. You're gonna say there's no accountability whatsoever about any other foreign actors.
Right,
That
and you have
particular-
yet to give any accountability to the
I
Iranian
gave
government, which
accountability
apparently
to the foreign
apparently the Israelis are responsible, the Americans are
100%,
responsible.
yes.
It turns out every single, probably the Swiss, maybe the Swiss are responsible.
now you're
I don't know,
talking
maybe
The
about-
government failed to
maybe the
prepare the safety of the
maybe
people,
Brazil,
yeah?
maybe Brazil's responsible as well.
Everyone is
Everybody's
responsible,
responsible
but
except
you
for the
need to-
people that actually kill
No,
people.
you
They're
gotta
not the ones
understand
that are
that was an
responsible for some
engineer.
reason. We
Everyone
find that
is
very
responsible.
interesting.
Listen, everyone is responsible, but if you want to tell me it's 100% is the government, I'm not going to buy that. I'm going to
I didn't say it was 100% the
But
government.
tell
I'm
me
saying the
about the
government is
other
the ones
actors.
that, the
Okay, I'm
government
going
is
to
the,
condemn everyone individually. Tell me which one was also accountable for that.
the ones that committed the action. The Iranian governments are the
So
ones that
not
committed the
Mossad.
action.
Mossad is
Yeah,
not
okay, so,
armed.
hold on.
You said you're willing to condemn every single
But
one
you
that
don't
is
even-
involved. You
you
said
don't
you were,
even
no,
concede
Soren,
that-
Soren, stop for a second. Soren, you just said you were willing to condemn every single actor involved in this
Yes.
horrible atrocity.
Based on what they did, yes.
Correct.
Number
So
one
do-
is
so do you
Mossad.
condemn the Iranian government for actually
Well, that would be
committing the atrocity?
They are also the victims. Why was 700?
No, that wasn't my question. You
No.
said you're willing to condemn every single responsible
Yes.
party in this.
Yes.
Do you stand by that statement, yes or no?
100%. And Iranian
Okay, so
government
you-
is not on the
you-
top of the list. Is not. The top
But
of the
do you
list is
condemn them
Mossad.
for the
The
action?
top of the list is U.S.
But
government.
do you condemn them for
and
the action?
by the way, out of
But
3,000 people,
but again,
out of that
do you
3,000
condemn them
people,
for the action?
700 of them were police officers. Did you know that?
This is so funny.
Ben, did you know that
Look,
700
we
police
condemn
officers were
Iran
killed?
for their action of their own people.
You know,
but
Ben,
I support
700
Iran.
police
When it comes to
officers.
Iran,
Thorin, vote in the poll up top so we can move on from
fuck
this.
yourself, who muted me.
Oh, okay.
You're
That's hysterical. Soren, you said that you're willing to condemn everybody involved in it except for the
Not
people that
accept.
actually
I think the
committed the
number
action.
one.
That's
is-
hilarious.
No, it's not, because the number one is the Mossad that instigate that violence. Number two is the U.S. government's Mark Pompeo, literally, and a lot of other foreign actors.
But
Yes,
everybody-
they're also, I'm going
Apparently,
to
everybody
condemn-
has personal
I'm going
agency
to
except for the
condemn
Iranian government.
whoever killed 700
There is
police
mullah in
officers.
your
I'm going to do that
ass.
as well.
Everybody has, remember
Look,
this,
do you understand
everybody has
that if
personal
you-
agency in the
listen,
world
Ben, don't be-
except for the Iranian government.
Imagine if someone killed a police officer in the United States. What's going to happen? 700 law enforcement.
Can I say something?
You know that.
So
700
if ICE agents kill an American citizen and it was an unjustified killing, then yeah, I would absolutely condemn ICE and I would condemn the
I
American government for
understand, but it
killing.
was not.
Yeah,
again,
so I have
you
no issue
cannot-
with it being
you
like, hey,
cannot
guess
kill-
what? I
Just
love my,
because of that, you
I'm
cannot
a
kill ICE
voting,
officers.
I'm a voting American citizen,
I
and I'm
understand,
like,
but you
hey, I condemn my
cannot.
own
I
government. But
encourage
for some
you
reason,
do not
you're saying
kill
that
ICE officers.
you're willing to go after everybody
Ben,
that's
I
everybody
encourage
who's
you.
responsible for
Ben,
this.
I
for the
encourage you.
3,090, which I think is an
Ben, you're talking
understatement.
over
But
me. I understand you don't like ICE officers, but I encourage you not to kill.
I didn't say that I
because
didn't
you
like
don't
ICE officers.
That's
I
not
like
how the
ICE officers.
civilized human beings do.
I like ICE. I like ICE
I
officers.
understand.
Can I-
If
can
you
I
don't
say
like them, you
I
can't
support.
kill
I
them. Do you
support.
understand that?
I support immigration and customs
I
enforcement.
understand, but
100%.
if you don't like
Thorin.
police officers, don't kill them.
I support our police officers, but I have no problem.
Alright, no, okay, we're good on that one. Tala, you've been trying to get in.
Yes, yes.
There you go.
I want to say something from the bottom of my heart to Soren. Okay, let's not go into this debate of like condemning and everything. I just want to start by saying we are living on what I call it humanity era, and this era is not about like. I think what I'm seeing now, it's not about being good. I think it's about appearing good to people. And I just want to highlight this because this is very fundamental reality of our modern geopolitics, I would say. There is a performative morality. Regimes like Iran, and before even Iran, regimes across so-called Arab region or Islamic region, they posture themselves as champions of human rights and anti-imperialism on a global stage. And I see it very clearly because I came from a country, I lived under dictatorship. We were hearing the same thing what Iran is actually now trying to manufacturing like an existential, like a foreign enemy, and trying to invoke like international solidarity, but at the same time those dictatorships, they have like strict
domestic rules and internal distress and they try to make their own people as their if they come up and protest against their governments, they're like the the mercenaries of external enemies. Iran has a long history of violence. It didn't happen now, Soren. It happened since 1979, since the revolution. There's a lot of mass execution against political prisoners. There's a lot of rules actually imposed between the brackets human rights concerns. So we'll talk about also Iraq and Muammar Gaddafi and Bashar al-Assad. Gaddafi regime, Gaddafi himself positioned Libya as a premier financial of global anti-Western liberalization movement in Northern Ireland and elsewhere. And internally, he committed in the 1996 like a famous massacre called Abu Slim massacre. They killed in 1 hour more than 1,270 political prisoners. So it's the same pattern not only in Libya but also in Syria under Hafez al-Assad, the father of Bashar al-Assad. He had there was something called Hama massacre under his leadership. More than 10,000 to 40,000 people, civilians, were killed. I'm not gonna talk about the civil war, and let's talk about Iraq. Let's see what Saddam al-Assad, he wrapped literally his regime in a Palestinian cause. This is very interesting because all of those regimes have one thing in common: supporting Palestinian cause, and they're positioning themselves as the liberators, anti-Western imperialism, anti-Zionism, while internally nobody's about Al-Anfal massacre. Anfal massacre, it happened in 1988, a systemic campaign targeting Kurdish people. You know how many civilians were killed in that massacre? More than 182,000 civilians. And there's another one. There was a chemical attack that's very famous in Iraq. It's called Halabja chemical attack massacre. More than 5,000 civilians were killed. We're not going to talk about the uprising of the Shia Iraqi and the Kurds in 1991. More than 50,000 people were killed in weeks, not months, not years. So there's a mechanism, there's a performative humanity. If you want to talk about human rights, let's talk about all forms of human rights violations. It's not pick and choose. It's not a buffet. It's not like there's a menu when it comes to human rights. We're all humans. We say that, we have to, we shouldn't actually talk about what's happening in Iran or Sudan or Yemen or Libya or Syria. We only talk about Palestinian, because, you know why? Because the Jewish are involved. So this is very, very clear. I mean, I lived this, I'm a survivor, I call myself a survivor.
The Jewish are evil.
Sorry?
Did you say that Jewish are evil?
I don't understand.
She was condemning that, Peter.
No, I'm saying let's not lie, let's not perform. If we care about human rights, I would condemn the Israeli government, of course. I'm not here to worship any government. I did not survive a dictatorship to worship any government. I'm a Canadian citizen. I would condemn my government. I'm paying taxes. I would condemn any government, Israeli, US, God himself. Okay, if there's a human rights atrocity. But I will not defend a government and pretend they're representing a nation, a civilization, just by being attacked. And you now appear like you're the anti-imperialist and anti-Western intervention in the Middle East.
while at the same time you are committing genocide internally, and you have like a common pattern between all of those dictatorships: Iran, Libya, Syria, Iraq, all of them. They were positioning themselves as the axis of resistance against Zionist project, while internally I'm from Libya,
Thank you for your
I'm from Libya. I'm from Libya, by the way. I'm an indigenous person. I am a minority, religious. I'm not an Arab. I'm ruled by a majority Arab Muslim, of course, but I'm not the majority. I'm a person who I consider myself as an indigenous. Indigenous people, likely I'm from the north. In the southern part of Libya, there are other indigenous groups. They don't have a citizenship till now. While on the other hand, there is a law in Libya that allows any Arab to hold a Libyan nationality under what we call the Arab Nationality Act that allows a Palestinian and Syrian to get citizenship in Libyan soil, while an indigenous person they're not allowed to get a citizenship. They go in public and they try to condemn, oh my God, Israeli is doing this and Israeli is doing that, while they're doing the same and even worse. It's like Bashar al-Assad when he was invited literally 3 years ago to an Arab summit condemning Israel by committing human rights atrocities in Gaza.
Is situation better now compared to Muammar Gaddafi?
No, you can't speak until you vote, Soren.
By the way, I really value what you have said, Tava.
Go ahead.
I value what you said, but I will add to that. You have told.
Yeah, go ahead and vote up top, Soren, okay? So I really want to hear you speak.
All right.
Go ahead.
Did you vote yet, Soren, or no? Did you vote?
Oh, he left. Did he leave?
Oh, shit, he left.
The people who pay doesn't want that.
I just posted.
Wow, there you go.
And whoever's paying his bills, they're not getting their money worth out of this guy.
What happened to Randy? Was he speaking?
I'll hand it.
Yeah, he was interrupting me. But that was very telling, for real, Joe. That was. So that shows a lot. I'll take it down.
Beaver, go ahead, Matt.
Oh, Joe, I didn't mean to talk over you. I'll say real quick. He really is putting up a big fight, or putting in the fight, you know what I mean? Go ahead, Joe.
Can I ask you a question, Joe? And guys?
We want to do commentary of what we just observed.
Yeah, that's the question. Who do you think is more die hard with their regime, Tiger or Soren?
That's a good one. And I think that's the point here. What Abby's alluding to with that question is we have to be really careful as Americans that there are these foreign adversaries, I mean, lack of better terms, that are intentionally trying to divide. Foreign nations know the public opinion of America does matter in American citizens. And what we just saw are demonstrated by Ben. You kept drilling and dug in there. It was amazing to watch. And yeah, I mean, clearly Soren his appeal to emotion is biased and jaded. And we see that now. I don't think anyone.
Again, the United States has done some awful things, and anybody who denies that is living with their head in the sand. But the United States' record on human rights is incredible in terms of the amount of liberation that has come out of the United States or American-led campaigns around the world. So
hold on. That's not true, man.
It's sort of disingenuous to say that.
Hold on. I just heard that nigga say some bullshit, man. Niggas had to fight for that shit. They didn't just freely, willingly,
of course not,
change the human rights. So I mean, if you gon' dress it, dress it correctly, bro. They didn't just
willingly
look,
change it for the likes of human rights, bro. Niggas had to shed blood, sweat, and tears for that shit, man. It's a difference.
Again, if you listen to what I'm saying in the entirety of the context of what I'm saying.
Oh, I heard you. I ain't even been speaking, but I heard you though.
But I'm saying this in regards to what Storm was talking about. I have no issue going after the American government for the atrocities the American government has done, both against black people and a variety of other people. I mean, hell, we put our own people into concentration camps during World War II. The Japanese internment camps in World War II. Look how Manzanar, right? Like this has been the United States has had a very, very colorful record. So I have no issue going after the United States. I find it interesting when we have foreign actors like Soren in these rooms, which I don't have any issue with these people coming into these rooms. I have no issue because he made it very, very clear where his loyalties truly lie, which is his loyalties do not lie with human rights. His loyalties do not lie with dignity and any of that stuff. His loyalties lie with the Iranian government because of all the groups that he was willing to go after. And again, I have my criticisms of the American government, I have criticisms of the Canadian government, the Israeli government, a wide variety of different governments, and actors and players around the world. I have no issue saying, hey, I condemn those people or condemning their actions.
So you're willing to acknowledge that America did not free willingly change the laws and rights based off of just comedy.
Of course I acknowledge that. 100%.
We did take ownership for Kent State after it happened, when we killed 4 of our own citizens, correct? I mean, that was a big seismic change after that happened.
Never had one lesson.
Sure, correct.
Those were scared reservists. They didn't know. They were letting them get close to them. They were so inexperienced, and I really feel bad for people.
Most of these human rights, as far as the United States, most of the human rights that's in place and changes, the United States seen the shit that was going on and it either took for somebody to die, some riots, some blood to be shed, for them to be like, oh, maybe we should change how we view human rights. So, I mean, I'm pro-American, you know what I mean? I fuck with the United States, but this propaganda that we just openly changed rights and we were for human rights, that's cap.
Nobody's saying that. No, at least I'm certainly not saying that. I'm not saying the context of what is going on here at all. Like I'm absolutely not saying that.
I think the larger point, Timothy, is to try and figure out if we're dealing with good faith actors or bad faith actors. Clearly, Soren was a bad faith actor. Ben can sit here and at least explain that, yes, America has committed atrocities. What we just witnessed was Soren has a pure propagandist agenda on this app to sway the minds of Americans, one way or the other. And the only reason we got to point this out is because there's such a heavy anti-Israelist position, which I don't disagree on some of the arguments about Benjamin Netanyahu and things like that. However, you have to know it's being fueled by people that are not our allies. And clearly there are enemies. These are our enemies that are...
But sure, you think that Norm's any better than Soren, or that much better than
I
Soren?
believe Norm is a good faith actor. I do.
I don't.
Beaver, Israel's an ally, Beaver. It's an ally. It's a big difference.
Sure.
It's a very big difference. But Iran's an enemy of our country. I mean, are you going to compare China and Iran?
Norm would be the first person who would admit that he has his own bias. So I've been in rooms with Norm, and Norm and I agree on a lot of things, but we disagree on it. And as I did with Soren, I'm the first person to admit that I have my own biases. I'm a Christian. I have Christian biases. You know, I'm an American. I have American biases. But it was really interesting to have this conversation with Soren when you say, well, do you have your own biases? No, I'm only biased to the truth. No, you're clearly not biased to the truth, and I demonstrated that time after time after time after time.
Yeah, he got exposed royally, just
like it was like brutal, dude. Like, I mean, again, all you had to do is this is the point that, like, Pepe, I get where you're coming from, but like, this is the point that I was trying to drill down with him, was like, he's willing to acknowledge that the 3,090 people, we all know it was a lot more than that, but he'll take credit for 3,090 people, where the government.
No, I get it. I get it.
Like, yeah. So
I just think that
I made my point back then.
I'm going to be honest. Like, you get people like pretty much anybody with an Arab name, people like they have their own agenda. I get it, but I'm keenly aware of when I hear the Zionist speak. It's hard to tell if they actually believe what they're saying, and they just can't like look at their position through the lens of somebody who's not, in any way tied to Israel. I feel like they.
Shut up. There's three sides to every story. Remember?
Yeah, I mean, like I do think that there is a lot of manipulation and narrative peddling that to make it appear as though like this is our fight and we are somehow have to act and get ourselves entangled in whatever drama with Iran. I don't see it, and a lot of the other Americans don't see it. I think it's a very hard sell, but that does not mean that the other side, the people that are pro IRGC or any of the terrorist nations or groups out there that somehow they're not at least somewhat of a threat to West in general.
Do you think Trump has a communication problem?
No, I think he's also smart enough to know that I feel like he felt compelled to attack Iran for probably many reasons, but I don't think he was stupid enough to know that there's a good chance it would have been a big mess.
Real quick, there's to the breaking news out of Idaho. There's now been a report that an SUV has rammed the doors of the emergency hospital, St. Luke's Magic Valley. So it's unclear if this is in connection to the shooting, but obviously, just having a mass shooting and then a ramming of it all is strange to be connected.
Is the mass shooting in Idaho too?
The mass shooting.
Where was it, Trent, in Idaho? Where?
Twin Falls, Idaho.
Where? I'm sorry, what'd you say?
Burger.
Yeah, he just put Tesla in the In-N-Out Burger parking lot, and then I think he shot up the place inside. But
yeah, there's two guys.
Did you say Twin Falls or Idaho? Twin.
It's Twin Falls, Idaho. There were two shooters. One had an AR-15. The other had some sort of silenced weapon. It's unclear if the other person was trying to. It's unclear if the other person was trying to stop the other person, because the AR-15 shooter just shot up these Teslas that were charging. Though you can't tell if there was anybody actually in the Teslas that he shot at. And then now we have a ramming incident in Idaho, like at an emergency center. So it's breaking news. Not sure if it's a coordinated attack or not, but it does look like something larger than what it is.
Trent, was the ramming in Twin Falls also?
It was also at St. Luke's Medical Emergency City, or St. Luke's Emergency Medical in Twin Falls. Yes.
Who did it? Can you give a name?
I don't think they have a name. I know.
Yeah, no name so far yet.
I mean, the interesting thing is about Idaho is, for any of you that don't know, and this doesn't sound like it's what it is, but you don't get much in the way of lefties up there, and it's almost all white. Well, they have a lot of agricultural workers, Mexicans in other words, but the only crazies that are really known to Idaho are going to be like the I would say far right, like anti-government and white supremacist groups.
The Hayden Lake, Pepe. That group.
It was a Christian, like Chick-fil-A in the South, Christian fast food. I guess so. Now I've learned In-N-Out is a Christian place, so I wonder if
It's a
that's
Christian
something to
place?
do.
Kindred to the gods, and their bondage in these chains of the body and its manifold necessities should desire to cast them off as burdens too grievous to be borne, and depart to their true kindred. This is the struggle in which our master and teacher were